Oh my God, we're here. We did it. I think we're here.
I'm
I think
I'm
we're
not ready.
live.
Can we
Can we go
You
again?
want to do it
Mulligan.
again? You want to
Mulligan.
go back?
Kidding.
Fine.
Okay, now I'm ready.
T Lizzie Rock. We know who that is, don't we, Taylor?
Hi, Ma.
Okay. I'm glad that you like the music. We have to go back, Brenda. Take two, Dan. Take two. No, there is no starting again. We have started, and so it is the beginning of the stream Monday night. How are you guys?
Good.
I just asked before we went live how everybody is, and John said he's great because he's had the worst commuting week of his life. And for those keeping track of the subplots, the side story here is that John lives in North Carolina and commutes to New Jersey. So Mike requested that he share this tale with us on stream. So I would like to hear the story of your terrible week of commuting, John, so we can all revel in your pain.
All right. So I fly from Charlotte, North Carolina to Newark, New Jersey every week and have been doing so since December of 2006. And this was my...
Use that? I'm not good at math. 6 minus 21
That's
is...
15. That's 15, Mike.
Yeah, too long.
15 is the number.
So, and for anybody counting, I'm claiming that's why I have all this gray hair, but we won't go there right now. So
it's a good choice.
But yeah, so I had to redo my airport ID this week, so I had to be there on Thursday. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you miss that appointment, it's like a 2-week reschedule, and you can't work until you get back. So the night before I was going to leave, United Airlines saw it in their wisdom to cancel the last 2 flights of the day, which means my flight in the morning filled up. And I'm like, oh, I got this. It's okay. I'm number one on the standby list. I got 20 years, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't make it. So then I'm literally...
Oh, this is
No.
the worst.
The best part.
I know.
Shout out to I want to shout out to someone's mom who's out there in the audience tonight. Thank you very much for joining us.
He didn't make it.
While we're waiting, let me tell you, it's going to be a very exciting moment. Just check out those lips. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a whopper.
At least he froze pretty. Let
me tell you something, folks. We all got to put our, hearts out for John because 15 years is a really long time to take that commute. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, I have all this gray hair. I commuted like 8 minutes to my job for the last couple of years. Now I don't even leave this chair. I'm here. I've commuted to my job. I don't know. He's got a good excuse. I like that Skype decided to wait for like the apex of drama to be like, nope.
Screw you, John.
Or it's like the Gong Show and Skype is like, bored.
Yeah. Next. Any second here, the OBS should get like really out of whack for everybody now that we have a frozen John.
He's going to come back.
He'll come back. He's not just frozen. He's booted.
He is booted. We're just hanging out a second for our friend John to return back to the space. How's everybody else doing? How's everybody else's week?
It just
It's Monday,
started, right? Yeah.
I know, but we've been through this already. When I ask you how your week was, what I'm referring to is the 7 days since last we met as a specific group, because actually I hung out with Kurt and Taylor for 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
John, you didn't make it.
I cannot. I don't even know if I should discuss it because apparently there's some bad energy surrounding that.
You must. Come on,
All right.
The audience is waiting. We must.
I had to run to American Airlines. I slammed down almost $550 for a ticket. For a standby ticket. Fly to Newark, redo my ID, and then I work. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but in the Northeast, there were some terrible thunderstorms on Saturday.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And then I got stuck in Newark on Saturday night and then had to fly Sunday morning to, where the hell did I go to? Myrtle. And then rent a car in Myrtle Beach and drive home. So, yeah. So this week, I think total it cost me like $700 to get to and from work this week.
Oh,
my
gosh.
Yeah, and apparently even just mentioning it, not a good idea.
Yeah, no.
So,
yeah, dude. Like Microsoft and Skype conspired. First of all, Pia, thank you for resubscribing. Legend here from the beginning. Pia in the chat. We appreciate it. Second of all, our hearts do go out to you, John. 15 years is a long time to do that commute. And thirdly, fuck that, dude. That sounds brutal. That sounds brutal. That's like your journey from the freaking ruined village of Erkengard to Titan's Hall. Good God. Arduous.
Yeah, it was awful. It really was. It was the worst commuting week I've had ever. So.
And this guy has to do this in the snow, people. So, yeah, keep
I mean, to be fair, I'm not generally not in the snow actively, but...
Uphill both ways? Come on, dude. I'm trying to...
But you have to take a flight to Newark.
I know.
And, you know...
Brenna knows Newark is the worst. Newark's a brutal airport. It's relentless. Yeah. Keep your eye out for Ulrich Stormbeard if you're ever there.
Wait. Can you just like tell me the last? So let me guess. So you're like, it's like the end of the day. Was it Saturday? And you're like, you gotta be. Did you know? Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, dude, they were talking about rain, and I was like, oh, rain. Like, whatever, rain.
Yeah,
Next thing you know,
whatever, rain.
Right? They're like, oh, it's gonna rain, and then like the clouds come through, and they put in this lightning warning system that's like, it goes off all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, lightning. Well, that thing's been going off like crazy. You know, this new system they put in. Next thing you know, they're like, the airport shut. The runway was struck by lightning. They got to inspect it for damage. I'm like, what? Like, now you've got my attention. Then they're like, oh, there was a fuel spill. We got to close for the fuel spill. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
So I said to my supervisor, I was like, I have to try to go home. Like, do you mind if I go upstairs, and try to get on this flight? And he's like, no, go. Take off early. Do whatever you got to do. And I went all the way up there, and no, nothing. It just...
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's prove it.
I'm home.
Yeah, you are. You're home. You're safe. You've made it safe and sound.
All the way to the perils of Erkengard. That's
all the way back to the perils of Erkengard. Well, it's been like a month, you guys, since we were in Erkengard all together as a group. It's been quite a break that we've had here, but we're back. The gang's all here. The heirs have all lined up for me to knock you over like bowling pins. So the question is there any like bookkeeping or homework we need to go over? Is there any like character stuff? You guys got some items. Everybody's got their stuff added. You leveled up. You feeling pretty good about where we're at?
We leveled up?
Yeah, I mean, weeks ago.
I'll take another level if you throw
I
them
was
out.
gonna say.
Not quite yet. I might have like spoken a little soon there.
Just to be clear, what level is everybody?
6th.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I have written under experience points, doesn't matter.
It's really funny because I just opened Kurt's sheet and I saw it doesn't matter. And there's like a little emergency exclamation point next to it. The sheet is like, whoa, this is not right. It definitely matters. Everything about my existence as a character sheet says that it matters, man. Why are you?
That's awesome.
Okay, cool. So you guys are all feeling pretty good about your bells and your whistles, your bows and your arrows.
But we should not be, if any hit points or spells were expended in the battle with a fire elemental or the water elemental, those should be expended.
Yes, because I think that to the point where we left off.
But we just rested for a month.
The 4 of you, having plumbed the depths of this Tomb of Gurahl Khan, you found a series of traps. You found a series of elementals bound to these rooms, guarding these old treasures. There was one lone survivor amongst the soldiers of the Sapphire Legion that had come into this place with Malkainen, the first dragoon, a man named Tahir. And he said to him, Tahir, stay here. We'll be back. Don't go mess with the dwarves. Once we're done, you get to take the decapitated head of this minotaur, the High Paladin of Virago, Empress of the Sapphire Dynasty, and you get to bring it back to the camp of soldiers that sent you here. And he was like, fuck that. And you guys were like, well, basically, we don't care what you do, but take the head when you go, And so,
you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
that was the gist of it. And so, having explored the rest of the place, you've retrieved the 4 stone tablets, which, when placed together, present to you a map of the Azure coast, a marked space just off the coast where the Lighthouse of Crystal supposedly lies, the final destination where the last Titan was sent by those who buried Gurahl Khan in this place and built the tomb 1,000 years ago. So, having defeated the last of the Guardians, having battled with a cloud of deadly rusty daggers, and having told Tahir to stay here, you guys all find yourselves with Baudry Ironstave, the cleric of Vala, the Just Mother, his handful of dwarven compatriots, and you discovered a hatch leading down deeper into the bowels of this place. So Baudry set his dwarven workers to excavate the hatch, and you all decided to rest and discuss what you wanted to do. So the question is, do you all take a long rest? And we can open back up with you. Yeah, that's a lot of nodding from the wizard, I'm saying.
Please. I need a
So I think that the camera opens.
That or an earthquake or a stroke. I wasn't sure what the hell was happening with her. Like
heaven forbid, Ruldo forbid it. And so I think the camera opens up on the cramped quarters of the entry alcove to the Tomb of Gurahl Khan, this place where you've made your makeshift base camp as you've explored the ruins of this place for the better part of a week now. Bedrolls unfurled for the half-dozen dwarves here. Lothar Grubb, the halfling former soldier of the Legion, curled in the fetal position next to his trusty bow and pile of borrowed arrows. The maw of the Titans, recovered from Gurahl Khan's sarcophagus itself, leans up against the wall next to Hulric. The shield with the holy symbol of Ruldo affixed to the center lies by Crix's copperstone. Angus wears the blade given to him by Nallis the smith, and Eerie adjusts the cloak and robe made for her by Ursula Vandren. And the 4 of you awaken after your rest, fully replenished. All of your spells are back. You may rememorize. You have all your hit points.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And so I think that we hear the clomping of steps, and out of the darkness to the left, this narrow tunnel, we see the red braided beard of Baudry Ironstave as the worn dwarf comes striding in, 2 others behind him with pickaxes over their shoulders, dirt and soot kind of caking their faces. And he eyes the lot of you as you're rising, and he's like, "Good morning. We've got it open. There's a set of stairs leading down out of the place. Door forged. Well, I say out into the darkness.
That sounds fun.
I left the rest of the lot to watch the entrance in case anything tries to make its way up.
I could send Denon down for a ways.
We've some choices before us.
I have a question. Can your squirrel see in the dark?
It's a great question. I don't really know if ground squirrels can see in the dark. It's a great question.
We're going to say that as they live in tiny tunnels underground, yes,
Yeah,
your ground
probably.
squirrel has dark vision.
That makes sense. Yes, yeah, he can.
Ding.
So I
What are
guess. Go ahead, Kurt.
No, he Angus says to Baudry, so you say there's some options. What are these options that we're looking at here? You know.
I think he just says, he's like, well, as I've said, me lot and me, We need to press south for the coast. I know that you seem destined to head for Titan's Hall and cross blades with this army again, but I can't send this lot to their deaths like that. He says, as for where we go, wouldn't take much for us to get back out of this entrance, same way we came in. He says, otherwise, it's down the stairs and into the dark, and where that leads, your guess is as good as mine, but it's out of these holes, that much I know.
Well, it seems like it would be a waste of your time if you guys spend all morning excavating this hatch for us, and we're just like, okay, let's go out the front entrance. So, I mean, to me, I don't think there are any options. We got to go down the stairs.
Yeah, I don't really like it, but
Given our conversation with our surviving enemy, I would think that that dragon is laying in wait outside too. Or potentially.
yeah, that's why I'm a little nervous, Boji, with you all just walking out the front door.
Oh no, he says, me and the crew, we're comfortable enough to head down into the dark.
Okay.
But I've no notion of where it might go, and it's been many an age since that way's been opened up, so I can't be sure how safe the travel will be.
So then we'll travel together for a little bit longer.
Beaudry,
Right.
so you're going down to follow this map?
He says, when we make our way out, however long it takes, we need to follow the course set to the coast.
And what's your end goal for getting to the last Titan?
He's like, when we were sent from Vala's halls, we'd hoped to find what we could if there were others here. But it seems like we're far too late for that. So if there's one yet left alive, we need to find them. We need to make sure that they don't fall into the hands of the Empress. Because by the teachings that we have in the Citadel, beings such as that, there's a power to them, linked to the very earth itself. Some sages say that that's how the emperors draw their own strength. It's from leeching away at such souls who they're able to take into their own grasp. Says, were my wildest dreams to be realized, we'll find our way back to Vala's halls, but that may not happen in my lifetime.
Well,
Do you think it'll be possible to convince the last Titan to come back to Titan's Hall?
If there's anything that I think, it's that the impossible's possible. He says, it was against all odds we made our way this far, and the fact that you four, meaning no disrespect, children, are able to have done what I've seen you do in these weeks since we met, well, it's not impossible.
I turn to the rest of my companions from Erkengard, and I say, do we go straight to face this enemy? Or do we try to get the last?
we don't have time. We need to stop them at Titan's Hall. That's where the ring says we need to go.
Is it actively pulling us in that direction at this point? Is it?
Yeah, I've checked it several times since we've been underground. I can check.
Okay.
I think that
once we get outside and we're in some like fresh air, I can just double check the where the ring be pulling us, and just see if it's still kind of tugging us in the direction of Titan Hall. Don't you know?
I have a question. We're going to deal with the Legion and that lady that was on the disc.
My friend, the Duchess.
Yeah,
Baroness.
Baroness, Duchess. Yeah,
Well,
sorry, wrong
If
answer.
that's
Yeah.
if they're there, they may just have been like, oh, you know what? We're good.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
so
I
we're gonna
think
go to the hall, right? That's what the plan was. Wait. There's two choices: get help or go to the hall. Correct? That's what you said.
well, not
I want to get help. That's my vote.
There's no help to be had. Nothing in stone. We're it.
Own anyway, right? Who cares? I said we
We're-
try to get help.
No.
We're gonna need help against those people. There's a
If
lot.
we do not go to Titan's Hall.
I've never said we weren't going to.
No, but listen to me. If we do not go to Titan's Hall now, if we go with the dwarves, much like I would like to, the Legion gets what they want there. That's what I feel strongly. That there's something there, and that if there's nobody there to stop them, they're gonna take what they can. They're gonna take whatever they want.
What did Ulrich? What did you just say? You just gave us two choices, and I'm sorry. What was the second choice?
I was entertaining the idea of going to find the last Titan and persuading said Titan to help us kill this person who's been doing this for 900 years, I think we were told. So, I mean, as powerful as I think we are, given what we are and where we came from, I can't help but think in 900 years there's been more than a couple people as powerful of us that have died at their hands. So
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know.
we'll be successful.
Oh, that's good. Let's do something that we're not going to be successful at. I like that a lot.
That's how the greatest tales of valor are told. It's against all odds. And honestly,
Tell it if we're
my
dead.
father's ring has guided us every step of this journey, and I don't see a compelling reason to suddenly veer off course.
If the ring is the ring talking to you?
In a sense, it's pulling us in the direction of where we need to go.
Oh, because last time you told me that it was talking to you. Now it's pulling you in the direction?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, it's just pulling you along, then it's like a compass, right?
No, compass just tells you where something's at. You still have to choose where to go. This is telling us where to go by pulling us in the correct direction.
It's telling us where to go, so it's like a type of compass, because the compass tells us where the north is, and this is telling us where what is?
This is not telling us where to go any more than a map does.
Oh, okay, so it's not really telling us.
Well,
it's not telling us
Crixus,
what to do, per se. It's just...
I'm not arguing with you, Crixus. I'm going to Titan's Hall.
but to be honest, Crixus, short of your father telling us we should go a different way, I'm going to follow the ring.
Well, I'm against it.
No, Crixus.
All right, I
said
got
Crixus.
you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, let's
Once
go down the
again,
stairs and just see if we learn anything new. I can check the ring again when we get outside. Maybe it'll have changed its mind.
The only thing that scares me about going downstairs is learning why they sealed the stairs.
Yeah, you mean like maybe like a Balrog or something might be hiding down there?
Angus will ask Beaudry and his dwarves, when you were excavating the getting the hatch open, did it look like something that was closed behind people? Like we went down here, we closed it behind us, and that's why it was so hard to get in? Or was it more like closed to keep something down there?
So I think that Brunhild, who's like behind Beaudry, is just like nodding her head, and she's just like, "Oh, you can be certain they closed it up behind them. Whoever built the place sealed it up from up here. It wasn't some casual closed door like that was dwarf sealed."
But they went through it and closed it as they descended. It wasn't like it was sealed from the inside versus sealed from the outside. Outside being above.
I guess that kind of makes sense that it would be easiest to seal the main entrance from the inside in some way that makes it almost impossible to open and then leave through a secret staircase.
And so yeah, Brunhild is like she's like working through it for a second, and she's like Aye, they made their way out there and sealed it from the far side.
Interesting.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
It's been a minute though. We don't know who or
And
what might have.
I think at this point, Rapon is just like, there's a set of stairs winding down through the natural caverns. It's actually a hell of a thing to see, I'd imagine. You can hear the sound of water falling down low.
Oh boy.
I just don't want to hear the sound of dwarves falling from high.
Aye, well, that's why we're so short-footed. He claps you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
Well-
then Beaudry Ironstave is like, all right, let's round everything up. Everything we can carry on our backs. You know the drill. And then I think he looks to a lot of you like, what do you mean to do about your friend in the southern quarters there? And Lothar is just like, I can take care of it.
Lothar,
I'm just saying.
stop it. We don't say these things.
Well,
I'm
I know,
just-
but I thought maybe that's why I could be useful, because I'll say these things. You all don't say them.
No, you're part of the group now. We don't say these things.
Okay. Well,
No, he can say those things, but let's be fair, Lothar. If we were administering justice in that manner, you'd be dead.
well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technicalities.
So,
I think my justice was administered, actually.
Yeah.
I think he says. I think he's
it
just
was.
like. He's just like, that's like.
So,
It's actually
what-
the only reason I mentioned
so what is
it.
Ulrich really saying? Is he saying, do it? I'm not
you
really-
know,
I think
Dude,
Ulrich
no,
is saying
so
he's
confused now.
changed.
if you're asking, I do. I have thought about this, and you know, I don't know. We've kind of progressed towards like the touchy-feely D&D. All right, I'll keep it in character, but
He should. There's growth.
right. So I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to not have a powerful enemy behind us. There's a part of me that wants to kill the powerful enemy that killed our newfound dwarven brothers here. There's a part of me that wants to take that little bit of evil off this planet. So you
There's
don't.
also the part of you that wonders if he can change, like I did.
There is, but you know,
Right.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, you.
I clap Lothar on the back for that answer. I was like, good for you. Good for you. Lothar.
But
Causing trouble to the end.
Well-
I love it.
But I think
Well,
there's a difference between being pulled out of your town and your homestead and being pressed into service against your will and somebody that's like clearly like, look, Lothar, you were on a patrol in the wilderness. I'm going to bet that somebody who's risen to the rank of assisting, you know, the Dragoon
Oh,
has
yeah.
an affinity for it and has excelled at it. I mean, I think that's a fair statement.
They're handpicked. They don't just fall into that kind of promotion.
So, you know,
Listen,
They're talking. I'm going down the stairs.
No,
To
you're
where?
not.
I
just
just
into the darkness.
No, you're
Okay. you
just
start.
did.
You could start
Uh-uh.
heading to the other dwarves.
I start walking.
there's
Okay,
no
so
sweets down there. There's no sweets down there, Chris.
just to
Slow
like
down.
clarify, you guys are by the entrance. You have to go to like the northwestern corner to get to the stairs. So you start walking back towards the other dwarves.
Fury yells at you, Crixus.
You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know
You're
what I'm doing.
walking
I'm just kind
away
of
from
wandering
us.
around, minding my own business.
I'm not letting you wander
talking
away
to a
from
dwarf right now. talking to have, like,
No.
know what I'm
It's-
doing.
Sorry.
Oh, no,
You're-
it's
I'm the
about
mom of
that.
the group. You're not walking away into
So
the darkness.
I look at Beaudry. I look at Beaudry. I say,
Tackle me. I'm out of there.
can we seal those stairs behind us as we leave?
I think we could.
Okay. And the main entrance is sealed.
It's as sealed as it's going to be. I mean, a dragon could dig it out again.
So let's. What do you say we leave it to fate? If he can find his way out, or if his friends come to rescue him, he can live.
I think Beaudry like shrugs a little bit. What were you about to say, Kurt?
Well, I'd hate to seal it behind us, only for us to get down there and find that whatever was an exit's no longer an exit, and it's like a big wall, and then we're trapped underground. even further.
We're already trapped. That's exactly right.
I think Beaudry is just like, it's not for me to choose how to serve your justice. If you wish to leave him here, then so be it.
Can we just say, hey, you know what? We'll be right back, and then we just leave?
Well, he's in another part of the facility.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. Can we just tell him?
We just leave. We don't have to tell him anything.
Oh.
My only problem with this is that we said that we were going to let him go with the head. And
I think, to be fair, we will leave him the head.
I don't think for us to let him go, we have to actually go and say, flee!
I mean, is there a way to make like a small hole in the entrance easily to like let him squirrel his way out?
I could have the lads move some stone. Wouldn't take too much.
I mean, he could get eaten by the dragon for all we know, but like to just he'll die in here. Like he will.
He will.
That's not a fair chance.
He might excavate himself. He might get buried by the rock. He might starve to death, but it's more likely than not that he dies here if you leave him.
Unless his friends come back here, this is deemed an important enough location. They know that their Minotaur guy was in here, and so they may come back here looking. They'll see it's collapsed and dig him out.
It's also.
I mean, let's be fair. He wasn't patting the last Dragoon on the shoulder, going, "Whoa, you're getting a little aggressive. We need to take it easy on these guys." You know.
I think you're right because I would have noticed that.
The problem with us comparing ourselves to them is that we're not them.
That's what I keep hearing. I think Lothar says. Shrugs. Hey, Crixus, wait up.
Just people.
And,
even just people have justice administered. And I'm willing to say we leave it up to fate and see if his friends come back for him, then his friends come back for him. And if he digs his way out and survives, then he digs his way out and survives. So.
Can we at least point him towards the entrance?
How about this? I think Beaudry looks at you and he says, how about this? And he's just like, shink. He takes a pick off of his belt and just looks at it and sets it down and leans it up against the rubble of the entrance.
Oh, here. I'll do you one better. I go in my pack and I throw out 3 rations and throw it on there, 3 days worth of rations. There you go. That's half my rations.
All right. I know he's not.
In the citadels, girl, the highest of crimes have not been committed in a generation, but those who steal or do violence, those who break the laws set forth by the Just Mother, they're banished, exiled, cast away. We do no violence back upon them, for she says that is not the way to cite justice. But they're left to fate. There's only so much you could do for those who choose wickedness on their path. We all have choices.
So, I mean, look at it this way. Let's say we'd never gone in that room. We never came across him. Then if we just went down the hatch and just left things as they were, he would have been even more screwed than he is now, where he's got a pick and some rations.
I'm happy with this. At least he has some sort of chance. I just don't want us to be like them.
We're not. Let's be fair. We
I
get
know
run
we're
into
not.
a town.
And I know he's probably
people.
not a good guy. And I know he probably deserves to die, but like, who are we to decide that?
We aren't deciding that.
All right, then. Your friend, he's wandering off.
Yeah, he does.
We see, like,
let's be fair. I mean, we are, at this point, the free surviving elders of Erkengard.
That's scary.
And
well, we don't know that.
We are the ones. What are you talking about? I mean,
here, he said he might have seen Rogosh.
Well, that's great, and he's captured most likely.
We're the 3 free. They're the 4.
I'm just
free.
Being hopeful. I'm just worried about everything. You know, I know, and let's go. We can do this.
We're going.
I think as you guys like start walking, Lothar's like trotted off after Crixus into the darkness of the halls in front. But as you're walking, I think Beaudry Ironstave behind you, Eerie, I think he like pats you on the shoulder, and he's like, "It's important to remember that we need not do as they would." He says, "But even the conversation, just having it, that's one step better than them, and a big one." He says, "Your friends are wrong. We don't have the luxury of strong walls and strong allies to defend us while we sleep. We're in a hard place in our lives in the world, so we need to be hard. But don't lose that part, no matter what comes in the days ahead. Somebody needs to ask those questions, or we aren't any better."
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I just wish none of this happened.
Well, that's what they all say.
Oh.
All the people who are really tested in their lives. It just like shakes his head a little bit. Meanwhile, Crixus, as you've like darted ahead down the halls,
Do they have
you
sweets?
see like a
sweets down?
yeah, exactly. You see a dwarf leaning up
I've
against the
encountered
wall.
Something a jelly-like substance. It's
Oh
kind of
dear. Don't eat it, please.
You pass a
I'm
dwarf
not
leaning
eating
up
meat.
against the wall. As you're coming, you pass like a dwarf that's leaning up against the wall, and she like steps out. It's Hester, and she's just like, "What's happening then? Are we on our way?"
I don't know. They talk a lot. And
They really do. These friends of
And
yours always
where's
talking.
the hatch, Rich?
This way, come on.
Good.
That's she like walks you along and leads you up into like the northwest corridor where you guys have been, where you see this like hatch in the floor, right? This plate has like been removed and is like hanging down, like pitched on these, like hanging on these hinges, and you could see ultimately like a staircase leading down into the darkness. There's a handful of the other dwarves are sitting here. Their packs like kind of bundled up. I think that they're like munching on like old bread and cheese and stuff. But yeah, it's Amos, Donald, and Landry as they see you coming with Hester. And
I say,
yeah.
"Well met," and then I proceed to go down the stairs.
"Hey, he's a brave one, eh?" And I think you just hear one.
"You're coming next." That's what I say to them. "You're next," and then I just
brave and presumptuous. And then one of them's like, maybe a bit stupid. So
well, I'm gonna be stupid soon enough.
You start heading down the stairs, Crixus, and I think we hear Hester like, "Is he supposed to be going down there alone? Isn't he the young one? I can't tell. He's got that tail." You know.
Tail adds 10 years.
Crixus, as you begin to like descend into the hatch, you're on a staircase, right? It's about 10 feet wide. The stairs are pretty steep, and it's like a tight kind of, not tight, but it's like a tunnel, right? The hallway itself is about 15 feet high. And it begins like twisting and pitching as it comes down. The walls of the corridor are like natural rock that have been like pushed out. The stairs carved to themselves. Stalactites hang from the ceiling above you down this hall. And I think we hear the clatter of the heavy boot steps of the dwarves behind you, and a call from up near the top like, "You lot better hurry. The dragon boy's climbing down on his own."
Let's go.
Maybe he's scouting and plans on coming back to let us know what he's. Maybe
Oh
we should
yeah,
see here.
definitely.
Yeah, that's his MO.
I think Lothar's like, "You probably should warn him. There's a lot of deadly fungus down here. He might eat some. Some of them are very pretty colored. This is good. I've got all these extra arrows. Okay. I'm ready for this. Into the caves. I never liked it underground.
In all of our exploring of this dungeon level, did we find any usable arrows?
No. as the veterans had crossbows and stuff.
Okay.
There were some arrows recovered from goblins. That was the last place you guys got reliable arrow supply, I think.
Because I gave a good chunk of mine to Lothar. I used to know.
You did.
Okay.
And so, as the lot of you all make it up into this top room, you see the last of the dwarves kind of like waiting anxiously near the top. And I think Beaudry's like, what's the choice then? Are we going to seal this hatch behind us?
Yes.
It'll take us some time.
Well, can we come back this way? Like, again, if the
I think
path leads to a rock fall and a dead end or something like, oh, well, it actually can't get out this way. We don't want to be sealed in here unless we can get out.
Yeah.
Beaudry says, I'll be sure that we won't do nothing we can't undo.
Okay.
We've tried to take that philosophy ourselves.
It's harder in practice than it is in theory, aye. And so, with that, the lot of you begin to like descend into the stairs. The dwarves, Beaudry, Amos, Spindle, Rappin, Kringle, Dunnell, Hester, Landry, and Brunhild all pick up their packs and begin to descend as well. I think a pair of them strike torches, which they set down at the top stairs. As the lot of you descend a bit further, a handful of the dwarves stop, and Beaudry begins like directing them, like, we're going to need to seal this up. We want to make sure that anybody who wanders in behind can come racing down after us. Nothing too tight. We need to make sure that... And then I think in a lower voice he goes on, we need to make sure that if these children come racing up here without the lot of us, they can get out on their own.
I'm 20 years old. Stop calling me a child.
And I think that Landry's like, the youngest of us is 103. Don't take it so personal.
Yeah, well, if you convert like my 20 Minotaur years to like dwarf years, then I'm like 80 or maybe like 100.
Is that a thing? I'm sorry about that. I don't know a lot of Minotaurs. I mean, there's a few of them walking around, but you let her so impose them with the horns and the hooves. It's a whole ordeal. I'm sorry about that. I don't mean no insult. All right. Here, get the pins. The dwarves are now like tapping, and you hear like the as they seal this hatch back up, and they start like hammering in like pins and rods and sealing up the way behind. And so I think that there's like a tense 20 minutes as the lot of you stand in this cluster near the top of the staircase. Crixus edging like further and further down as his desire to get going is overwhelming the slow prodding movements of this large group. And so with the door sealed, you begin your descent. Who's out in front? Who's leading this band?
Well, Crixus.
How far did I get
course
by
he
doing a
is.
flat out run? Did I hit the bottom of the stairs?
You did not hit the bottom of any stairs. You just start running down the stairs into the darkness.
I'm just trying to figure out about timing. That's all. All right, so I'm still walking down this stairs.
You're like way out in front. Yeah. I'm going to say you're probably like 100, 150 feet out in front of everybody. Like, are you trying to keep them in sight is the question.
They were never in sight.
It's just
Right, so you're just like...
Rich, Crixus is running far ahead. I think that's all you need to know.
Got it. Yeah.
Wait,
got it.
Yuri
Okay.
would like
Wendy,
cast light.
Please, I'm sorry.
Yuri
Wendy-
would like, wrap her staff on the ground and cast light
Tell them what my character's
With
doing.
the-
and go.
I'm trying to like clarify. I apologize. I'm trying to like clarify so that everybody understands. We're all on the same page. Crixus is gone
Yes.
then. He is like by himself, hundreds and hundreds of feet away from everybody else running down the stairs.
Would
Miles.
Crixus pause?
Miles.
Yuri would be yelling for Crixus, like as soon as they got
Okay.
into the cave. Like as soon as they got
He
in,
can't-
Yuri would be yelling for him.
He does not slow down. You hear the dim echo of a yell from behind, and like he's just
Yeah.
going. And so with that, Lothar, I think
in
is
total
like,
darkness, running.
Are you
Am I in a
actually
hall?
running?
can you?
Am I in a hall? Am I in a corridor?
Yes, you're in a hallway. It's the staircase leading down. It's a 10-foot wide, 15-foot tall, like corridor leading down the stairs, like
so
descending,
we need to get
twisting,
to the bottom
left,
of the
twisting,
stairs,
right.
then.
You're like racing down the stairs. Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
Or no? I always
I do.
forget with you. Okay, Angus is the only one. That's what I thought. So yeah, you're like running ahead. Yeah.
The moment that the
Like,
door gets sealed behind us, Angus says, "Are we sure that Crixus is down here?"
One of the dwarves is like, aye, he charged off out in front of a lot of us.
None of you went with him?
I think that one of them is
They're
like,
not his keepers, Erie.
Hester stretched out, but she won't go that far. And she looks back, and I think Beaudry Ironstave is
Well,
like,
it's Lothar and me. We're going ahead.
No,
We have
Lothar's with
orders.
us.
No, Lothar's
You
with
ran
us.
ahead.
Oops.
he stayed back. Yeah, he didn't like keep running as he went. I didn't realize you were like charging that. So with that, Crixus, I think the camera, as it like just focuses in on you charging down the stairs,
Yes.
where like hundreds of feet up above, finally the hammering ends, and the rest of this like slow moving group begins their descent. You like come like racing down the steps, and you're running for what amounts to like 30 minutes. 40 minutes, the stairs are like still descending. There are points where like the
that's a long
stairs.
time, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Stop at some point.
Bro. 30 minutes. It doesn't take that long to go to the Statue of Liberty. 30 minutes. Go on
Do
those
you
stairs.
stop at some point?
Right, I'm like aware of this. It's the point. It is like 40 minutes. You're descending deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And
After
so like,
the 15. Okay, well, now that we know that's 30 minutes, let me just go back in time, everybody, if you don't mind me, GM. 15 minutes in, Crixus starts whistling or humming a little bit of a tune because it's been 15 minutes, and now we're 30 minutes. Still humming a tune.
okay. And so the staircase reaches finally like not quite flat, but like pitching ground, right? As it like opens up into like a much wider corridor, and you hear the like sound of like water crashing from below as you peer off like the edge of like the right side. Essentially, there's a wall on the left, and you're on this like ledge now that's like leading downwards. You hear the sound of water falling down there. The air is like cool. There's moisture, like it's very damp and like thick around you as you're like heading along this kind of like ramp, and finally it like pitches in. After a couple hundred feet, it turns like into another tunnel that's descending downwards. So you're gonna keep pressing on ahead.
Well, wait, tell me my there was more than one option of choice to where to go. It sounded like a
So
tunnel
you
down,
open into like a
you-
big like open chamber, right, where you're on like a ledge with like the wall on the left side, and it's heading down, and then there's like an entryway. There's like a hallway jutting into the left wall, right? Or you could keep heading down this ledge further into like this big open air chamber.
I guess I'm going to start looking around this chamber. That's what I'm going to start doing. Looking around this chamber. If there's anything like unique about it, I don't know. I guess I'll start looking.
Give me like a perception check.
Would Denon, if I sent Denon ahead of us, would he be able to catch up with Crixus?
Possibly. You want to send Denon ahead?
Yeah. Like, I know
Okay.
I can't, like, he'll be out of range for me to, like, see anything, but, like, I'll still just send him, so
Me too.
Do you want
Okay.
me to carry you?
I mean, it's only 100 feet. I think Crixus is farther.
Right. You're sending your squirrel ahead. You have to stop moving. We want to keep going.
Well,
so
no.
that-
Denon can go by himself. Like, I'm just gonna send him.
Oh,
without...
you're not
No,
seeing
no.
through him.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna send him so that way Crixus has another
Has some
something.
company. Okay, so you send Denon like charging full bore.
Yeah.
So he's just like dashing down the thing. This little like ground squirrel, which looks like
Has
a chipmunk.
Denon been trained to retrieve corpses? That would be helpful to know here.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I think there's a point as like we cut back to the other group heading down this like eternal staircase where like the dwarves are like, wasn't he supposed to be the most important one? And one of them's like, that's what the soldiers kept saying. Yeah, you'd think that maybe they put a leash on him or something like that, but I don't know. They
Just gnaws through it. It's not worth it.
Mike, 22. As you're like scanning this thing, so it's clear there's like a waterfall down beneath you, though it's out of the range of like your distance in the dark vision, right? Like you could see down a ways into this chamber, but not quite far enough. This moisture is like heaving up out of there. as you're like peering around at the walls themselves, you're seeing like mineral deposits, these like veins of ore in the mountain that are kind of like glistening ever so slightly with the moisture that's like kind of adhered itself to the wall, right? And there is like a good deal of like plant growth under here. There's all like these blossoms of like strange like fungus and mushrooms and stuff jutting up around like the base of the walls and in the nooks of like the actual wall itself around the left side of the corridor. Yeah, that's what you got going on.
Can I use my herbalism kit to identify some of them?
Yeah, so sure, you can try that. Make an herbalism check plus intelligence. Make it use your herbalism kit plus your intelligence, make a proficiency check.
What was... How do I do...
when you click herbalism kit, it's going to query which stat, so you just want to go for
gotcha.
Int.
Oh, here it is. Okay. All right.
11. So yeah, this is like deeper than a lot of places you've been before. It's not even that per se, but like it's very wet. Like you're not familiar with a lot of these things, ironically. There are a few mushrooms that you know and are accustomed to and are like, oh yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I would cook with. This is the kind of stuff that I might like, you might use as like parts for like healing potions, components, and like the healing potions you make. But there's nothing like new or exciting that you're able to identify here. Yeah.
I guess if I could identify edibles, and then I'm gonna start picking some of those edibles.
Okay, sure. And so as we cut back to the other group, this
really reminds me of a meme I saw several weeks ago. It was like, mushrooms are the ultimate like test and learn food. Like, oh, this one tastes like beef. This one killed Kevin. This one made me broccoli.
It's too true, by the way. And so, yeah, with that, as Crixus like pauses and begins like farming the mushrooms, a lot of you are kind of like plowing along down these stairs. I think like Denon comes bounding out of the darkness finally. Crixus, you like hear the like tiny skittering. Actually, why don't you have Denon make a stealth check, Eerie? Is he trying to be stealthy? He's not. He's bounding down through the tunnel. So I think you hear like the skittering of pebbles and stuff like this, Crixus, and you like turn as like the familiar chipmunk-like visage of a ground squirrel appears, darting down the steps and racing over towards you.
And to be clear, because Angus is relying on his light spell on his shield, he's going at a normal pace.
Yeah.
Eerie would have if allowed would have tried to get to the front of the group with her staff to hold out,
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 feet wide. You can easily walk around anybody who's you feel is going too slow.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, it's probably about 15 minutes or so after Denon gets there that you see the light coming down the staircase from above, and I think it illuminates the vastness of this kind of cavern as the light appears on the stairs and begins making its way down, and finally a lot of you see Crixus here on this ledge kind of harvesting mushrooms by this exit off to the side. Yeah.
Cool.
And so there's this heavy pounding, this thundering perpetually of the water down beneath you, right? It's not overwhelming and drowning stuff out, but enough so that you got to kind of raise your voices, And so Beaudry Ironstave, looking around, he's well, by what we know, he says, the water's got to make its way out somewhere. If we stay in here and keep heading down, there's at least a bit of a chance we can find the passage out.
Okay.
What do you think?
Let's go.
Hopefully that way out isn't a completely submerged passage or a series of tiny fissures. Something that we could get through reasonably.
Well, we certainly hope that's not the case. He's yelling back. Yeah,
so we've caught up to Crixus?
Yeah, all of you are together.
To be clear, it's only because Crixus physically stopped.
Yes.
Right.
No, yeah, totally understand.
Crixus let us catch
Eerie
up.
walks up to Crixus and box him on the head with her staff.
Crixus!
Crixus!
I won't say that's exactly the case, but we'll go for it.
Crixus! We need to stick together. You could have gotten killed.
Oh, he's fine, Yuri. Look at him. He's happy. He's harvesting food. Don't eat that
He
one.
used to have somebody, one of the elders, you know.
As Hollerk said, we're the elders now.
So, Crixus, we need to protect you. You're important.
Well,
not according to Angus. Angus doesn't think so. So.
when did I say that?
I don't know. Your facial expression, Angus. You don't look too happy.
I came in and I said, look, he's fine. Just don't bop him on the head.
Well, he got bopped. Now let's go.
Wait, does that mean I'm allowed to bop people?
I bop people.
I pull Erie off to the side.
I got the staff.
I pull Erie off to the side and I whisper to her, the reason why I left is because I don't like when everyone starts talking about killing other people.
I know.
I don't like that.
Crixus, I know. But don't run weird. So far. Don't run so far, okay?
Oh, that's okay. You will always find me.
I hope so.
I think that Baudrillard and Stave is like, we're going to want to be safe moving down through this way. He's like, the ledge, it pitches hard another 50 feet out in front of us. We're going to want ropes. Set anchors in case someone falls.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
You lot, get the pitons. Unleash some ropes. Set an anchor there. Wrap on. In the wall, right there. And one of the dwarves is like, aye, Captain. And like pulls out this iron like piton and starts like, dang, dang.
Well, I guess everyone's going to know we're here.
Dang. The like echoing of like the hammer like echoing now through the chamber, you know. And I think that as he's like, bang, you suddenly hear a terrifying sound. A sound that all four of you, having grown up in the mountains and the caverns beneath the very mountains of the Drakencaern, know, you hear like the sound of like rock splitting and cracking. And then you hear like, Rockfall! As Rapon like screams. And boulders begin like cascading off the wall next to him. And you see the dwarf like feebly like grabbing as like one of his friends like throws a rope for him.
No.
And he like lashes out trying to grab a hold of it and is like,
no. Featherfall.
You cast Featherfall?
Yes.
Okay, so you burn your reaction and cast Featherfall on Rapin, who falls off of the edge of the cliff as rocks are now like cascading off of like the wall. Like just tumbling over the ledge, separating the pack of dwarves who were like stretched out in front of you down the ledge, descending towards the water from the group of you that are like back towards Crixus near this like side entrance. And so the Featherfall like catches Rapin, and you see him like his fall is arrested as he begins to like softly like float, and he's looking up at you like Baldry, and one of the other dwarves is like Rapon, and they throw the rope again, this time as he's like falling slowly. Can you put Featherfall in the chat for me?
Yes.
They used to fall at normal speed, but now their actual descent rate slows. So as he's kind of slowly falling, we see the rope like pulled back up and thrown again, and he catches it. And you guys like can't quite make out the dwarves as they're separated from you by this like tumble of rock fall that has come between you on this like ledge, right? But you see like Rapin like pulled into the edge of the cliff and like pulled up to the ledge as the dwarves are like heaving on the rope. And he's like looking to you as he's getting up higher towards like before he's pulled out of your line of sight, Erie. And he's just like, thank you, girl. You saved my life.
Oh my gosh.
I just like the idea of the dwarf being like, ah, ah.
As he like slowly plummets.
I have a retroactive question. How much time did we have, like, what between when I was talking to Crixus and like when they like started doing that? Because Erie would have tried to cast oh no, nope, just kidding. Never mind.
Were you
Ignore
going to say
me.
guidance?
Nope, nothing. I thought I saw the concentration symbol and thought it was ritual, so I thought I could cast a spell that I couldn't. So
Oh,
ignore me.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was only like a couple of minutes, right? Like
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you're talking to Crixus, they kind of all like stretched out in front and were like exploring the way ahead. They're very like efficient. They have this whole like, we are a unit, we are a bunch of dwarves who've like worked together for months to like travel, and we're a well-oiled machine type like.
I
hive
do
mind
cast
happening.
mage armor on myself though.
Oh, good choice. And so, yeah, there is now, as you guys like stand on this ledge, right? There's this hallway branching out to the left and the stairs like leading back up. But there's like this huge tumble of like rubble and rock that's kind of like barring the way of like probably about like 40 feet worth of debris that is like tumbled out of the wall and like is blocking the way along the ledge that you guys are standing on. So you're still kind of in this like open air cavern, and you could hear the dwarves now calling from the other side. Are you all right? Baudrillard and Stave's voice.
Yeah, we're okay. Are you guys okay?
Head count. And I think that you hear the dwarves like Amos, Spindle, Rappel, Kringle, Donald, Hester, Landry, Brunhild. Oh yeah, we're all alive.
Okay.
You saved Rappel's life.
It's like Santa's roll call. That was impressive.
Yeah. That's great. Okay.
All right. Does it look like we could climb over the rubble?
I mean, you could try, sure.
All right. I'll try to climb over the rubble.
Yeah.
Do I have any dwarven abilities that would help me assess whether this is conceivably possible without dying?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make a stonemason's check utilizing your wisdom.
Yeah,
Okay.
With stone cutters
We can
tools
tie
or
a rope to
stonemason's
you.
tools.
Tie a rope to Hulrich's. Just are we? Is there a rope already tied to Hulrich or no?
No,
There
not
should
yet.
be.
I mean, there should be. Yeah,
There
that's
should be.
not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell shit.
You're like,
Oh
Too.
I think that you're like, I don't know, man. You know,
I'm gonna go for it though. I don't know, but I'm gonna go for it.
that's
So-
Ulrich. Yeah.
no! I'll follow Hulrich as
Do
well.
they have a rope? Does somebody want to tie a rope to me in case I fall or the rocks stumble or?
Yes, we tie a rope to you and Erie.
And
Are you
then
guys coming?
is anybody gonna hold the rope?
They just look. Erie's got a rope around her waist.
Erie's-
Ulrich the other
Yuri's
side.
holding your rope and you're holding hers. I think
And
that
they
Great,
works.
start
we're-
climbing.
Yeah.
We're in great shape.
Yeah, and
Oh.
we secured it nicely with a
I'll
noose
hold on
around
to
each other's
it.
neck.
I'll hold
That's
on to it.
great.
The noose
Yeah.
around each other's legs.
Does
Yeah.
the
Don't do
route that Hulrich is taking look like it would accommodate a tall but slender minotaur?
Don't worry, Erie will hold your rope. Don't worry
You
about it.
certainly
it's
could
fine.
try. If you guys want to try to climb, you can. Yeah, it's like a pretty
Yeah.
high and like it's pitched, you know?
All right,
I'll be an anchor.
all right. I'm gonna try it. So
Go for it.
Athletics.
Okay, so just let me clarify. There's a rope around Ulrich, and in Crixus, you're holding the other side, right?
I'm the anchor of the rope.
Okay.
So
And just
yeah,
to clarify, Hulrich is going descending.
He's trying to climb over a
So what does
vertical
holding the rope
pile.
Do
If he
once
falls
gets
off the
over-
ledge-
Got it.
If he falls off the ledge, you could pull him back up.
you have to lift the ledge and yeah.
Oh, how far away is the other side?
About 40 feet.
40 feet?
Hmm.
That's a loving face.
No, she was like, "Oh, Misty." She was thinking spell
Yeah.
stuff.
Because if I can just get 10
10
feet
feet.
closer.
You could.
Okay, make an athletics check, Ulrich, as you're going to climb. You've got a rope tied around your waist. Crixus is like seating his feet, his like claws digging into the stone as he holds the other side. 18. You like ascend up to the top. Rocks start like rolling out from under you, tumbling, plummeting down over the ledge. But as you're up at the top now with the rope, like you like peering down, and the dwarves see you from the other side, like, all right, come on then. And so
Is
yeah.
there a place where I could tie off this rope from the top to help them get to the top?
I mean, there's like rubble and rocks and boulders everywhere. You could certainly try. Yeah.
Well, I have tools. Could I pound something in to tie off to?
Yeah.
You sure could, yeah.
And
So
see if I cause another avalanche while I'm up
yeah,
there?
go for it.
What the hell?
Make a stonemason's tools with your dexterity.
Adamant. We have the adamant.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
Adamant-
You do.
You
Yeah,
do.
you do
Which
have
could,
an
like-
adamantine like spike.
There's like another passage we're completely ignoring.
Yes.
Well, Crixus is anchoring the rope, and Ulrich is climbing. Like Angus is gonna like peek down that passage, and maybe go like 10 feet, and like
Well,
5
Angus-
feet.
I did not realize we were
Let's go.
avoiding
Crix
another
looks,
pass.
smiles
Yeah.
a little and goes.
There is a whole nother passage off to the left side where you could have gone. Yeah. So as you like head 10 feet in, can I have you make a perception check, Angus?
I also have a squirrel.
Yeah,
If you want a squirrel.
10.
Oh yeah, cool. So you're like heading down this passage a short ways, Angus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
You have the light off your shield, and it's a natural like cavern, and it kind of bends a little bit to the left, and then it opens up. It like balloons out wide, and it gets a little narrow. And as you step into like the narrow passage on the far side of like this little bubble to just kind of peer where it goes as it bends off to the left, you feel yourself like slurped into something. As you realize you're like there's like jelly filling your nostrils and your mouth, like seeping into your big ear holes. You, my friend,
I swear.
are a bard who's heard many tales. So I'd like to have you make like a history check right now.
I am really gonna make a history check right now.
Yes, right
My
now.
gosh.
This is what's going through his mind. I didn't think.
This reminds me.
This is this is what I like to call a reflexive check, where like if you know a thing, like in other words, if you know a thing, you just know
he
the thing, right?
He knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
I
Wow.
rolled a 20. Well, not
Wow.
a dirty 20.
Angus, you've heard tales. You've heard tales of the explorers and the caves of the Drakencairns. You heard them from Nallis the Smith. You heard the stories of old. You're not sure if they were here in Abrea before the first arrival, or if some maniac brought them when you came through the gates. But you, sir, have found yourselves trapped within a gelatinous cube, and you're realizing it as you're like, like squirreling around inside of this mass of goo.
Great.
I'm going to try to step out of it just as easily as I stepped into it. Actually, I am going to. Can't remember. No, I can't do that. Let me just click every ability I have.
Yep.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. No, I'm. Go ahead. It's balls in your court, DM.
Okay, what's going to happen here, I think, is you are trapped inside the gelatinous cube. I think that at this point we will roll initiative, is what's going to happen.
Great.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God, I rolled
Are
a
we
20.
do we have a map for this, or are we still in the caves?
You do not have a map for
Okay,
this
I'm
just
just
yet. Angus
checking.
has like walked into his own room. Ultimately,
Great.
you're in the top right, Kurt.
I just can't help it.
Do I have a I do have a token. Okay, sorry.
I just have it running through my head. It's here I am stuck in a gelatinous cube. But
Oh, hang
So
on.
we don't have
Let me redo this.
tokens.
No.
You know nothing.
Oh no, fair.
Not quite yet. Not quite.
Ooh, I'll take
Fair
that.
enough.
Hang on here.
I'm just double checking what happens. Right. So you were inside of it. Unfortunately, you are engulfed. You can't breathe. You're restrained, and you take.
it got so quiet. Hey, where's
jeez.
Angus?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit rough. Okay, hold on one
fine.
second.
Well,
I've got a backup character.
well, you know that Eerie was like, hey, I have a squirrel as he walked away.
You
So-
do.
She's going to come after you.
You
Can
know
I,
nothing.
Angus? You
I
take
know
17 points of acid damage
Ooh.
at the start of the cube's turn, and then it is your turn.
Yeah, no one really knows what's going on right now except for one of the right, Rich. No one really knows.
No, so the dwarves
Angus
are on
is
the other
acutely
side.
aware.
Ulrich is up on top of this like pile of rubble. Angus has like stepped out to the left. So Crixus is like holding the rope. Eerie, why don't you go ahead and make a perception check right now?
Sure.
My mom just came
Let him
downstairs.
die.
At you gagging.
8.
That's rough.
Yep. Great.
But Rich, I was just, is it?
Yes.
So I just want to make sure Crixus has no clue about Angus because he was so focused on the rope.
You are like watching Ulrich and you've got the rope. How about let's have you, this is a tough one. Do I go with your passive perception? Let's have you make a perception check.
I do want to
with
make
advantage.
a point. I
Yeah.
do want to make a point that before we got to this point, I know you're like, what? No, when Angus walked into the cave, Crixus did make a point of saying that he noticed it and smiled about it because he was exploring off on his own. Like he kind of gave a smirk, but I remember Crixus made a point of saying that.
You
Okay,
did-
that's
I
good
did
that
do
you
that,
said
if
that.
you recall
Yeah,
you
that's
saying.
fine. So I just said to you before that, why don't you make a perception check with advantage?
I love it.
I think that you hear Crixus from the other side, this like.
Oh,
What's
no.
Angus doing?
Ew.
Yeah, I think that's what you hear. You just hear Crixus like.
I don't want to know.
Uh,
Usually at parties, we tend to walk away from those rooms if we hear
Angus,
that going on. Correct?
Angus, it is
Correct.
your turn.
Angus, with his last breath, takes out his war horn
Yes.
That's
and
good.
expels with everything he's got, trying to either A, make a noise, or B, just have the cube.
Well, it's gonna be like a bubble that like
Wait, did you? I'm just trying to clarify. Did you say you used your action to pull yourself out before? You're gonna blow your war horn right now. That's what you want
I've
to do.
just taken an action.
I know.
I'm not gone yet.
Yeah, so it's your turn now. You're gonna use your action to blow your war horn.
Yeah.
But you're in the queue.
Yeah, make a. Do you have war horn as a musical instrument as proficiency?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so make a war horn plus the Constitution check. Use your con score to make a war horn check to be like.
This is wild, folks. I think this is the first time I've ever heard of a scenario like this. This is pretty cool, I have to say. This is pretty.
I think that you hear just after
Oh my.
Christmas, like a few moments after you hear like, I think you hear like.
Oh wow! I wasn't hoping for that.
I think that's what you hear. You hear this horrific, like bubbling, like falling out from inside going out of the corridor. You just, oh God, no wonder he walked off on
If there
his
are
own.
children that are watching this under the age of 15 and 15, please, parents, please take your children out of the room right now. I think things have gotten. Nothing has crossed the line, but I think that I want to say things right now, but I can't. So I don't know if a 14-year-old's watching, but you know how it goes.
This is perfect 14-year-old humor. So you hear the sound of this war horn filled with jelly.
oh.
Really sounds like Angus is taking a crap. Yeah.
So it's I don't know how you want to respond to that. Eerie, you do hear this as well.
Okay.
You hear like come like out of like the hallway to your left.
Jelly.
Angus, that was your action. You have movement and a bonus action.
Jelly. Please pass the
Are
jelly.
you okay?
Oh, there's no response when you
Yeah,
say
no,
that,
no,
Eerie.
no.
Angus, you have movement and a bonus action. Are you doing anything else besides blowing the war horn?
Well, I'm going to try to move.
You cannot. You are restrained
Well,
by
I don't
jelly.
have movement and a bonus action, Richard.
Sorry.
Don't
What
lie.
a dick.
Don't lie.
As a bonus action, I don't have anything. Like, hang on. Like, wait, I'm just checking one thing. No, I can't do that. Okay.
Okay.
And I don't think I have any. I have one non-verbal spell, and the casting time is an action, so I can't do that. No, I think I'm done.
Into the top of the next round, Eerie and Crixus, do you guys want to do anything?
I think Eerie, after calling to Angus, not hearing anything back,
but this is a second though, right?
6 seconds, technically.
6
6 seconds,
Yeah.
actually.
I mean, this is, but I mean, honestly though, like right now, like, wait, I just want to make sure we're doing this correctly. Like, is it true that we're focusing on a job, and the job was that like Holrick
my
was,
last turn,
Yeah.
I called
You're
to
holding-
Angus.
I'm just making sure that I got, because I'm
You
next.
are. You're
Ulrich is
tracking.
working
You're
on
holding
an
a
angle.
rope. Ulrich has climbed up to the top of a pile of rubble in this big open cavern. He's like hammering the rock in. You hear this like, and you're like, wait, what? Then you turn and you hear the second like farting sound coming out of the cavern. That's it.
Can I
6
roll
seconds.
something to determine, was that really a fart? Or was that something more like unknown?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, is this, I don't know.
What
If
do
I
we roll?
press-
What do we think is good?
Roll
Is
to
it
determine-
investigation, perception, history? Like I'm trying to decide which one. Is it nature? Is it a nature check? You
Yeah,
know,
that
I
sounds
think
right.
history is. I think history would work. It's like, I mean, it's about experience,
the history
To,
of Angus.
to
Yeah.
determine
I
the
mean, we could
authenticity of a
check.
fart noise.
Yeah, it's the history
History?
of Angus's gas. Yeah, you guys all grew up together, you know? You guys were teenagers
Oh
together
my
and stuff.
This
Go
whole
for it.
next
What-
level-
You've never
next level
once
stuff right here.
heard Angus fart. In fact, one of the mysteries of the Brighthorn clan is they're never seen going to the bathroom or heard.
It's true. It's true. They have 7 stomachs for this shit. Yeah.
Oh
man,
my god.
Well done. Well, then that
Now
just
we know what the ring
solves
really does.
everything. I think at that point,
Eerie would slowly begin to make her way and like calling out to Angus every few seconds, like waiting for a response.
Okay, Eerie, why
Well,
don't we
I'm
just
telling
have
Eerie, I think something's wrong. I call her out to her after I hear this sound. I'm like, oh no, something sounds weird.
Eerie, I just
That
put
was
your
loud.
token down here. Why don't you roll initiative?
Okay.
You're up in the top right of the corner of the map.
Gosh.
Okay,
8.
so I think Eerie, you like step into the corridor a little bit and you peer around the corner and you see Angus like clutching this like war horn suspended and like the light off of his shield is illuminating this big like 15-foot like cube of jelly that he seems to be like suspended inside of.
Eerie screams, Angus!
And I think you just step in time to see like this one big bubble like burp off the top of the jelly. You know what I mean?
It's the blob, guys. It's the blob. It's like
Oh,
just sitting
no.
there.
I've resigned myself to my fate. I'm just trying to make this a story that the gelatinous cube will be able to tell his friends for ages.
And
You
so,
won't believe what this cow did inside me.
what this
Oh,
cow
no.
did inside me.
God.
And so,
God.
I feel so violated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Scream.
no.
Angus, you take 8 points of acid damage at the beginning of your turn.
At the beginning of its turn or my turn or both?
Its turn, sorry, its turn. And then it proceeds to lash out at Eerie
Oh, no.
with one of its pseudopods.
Oh, no. Oh,
21.
yeah. That's great.
It's so like this one like big like kind of mass of jelly slaps into you for 8 points of acid damage.
Yeah.
You hear it like burning away like your familial sweater. And with that, Angus, you're up on 14.
Am I what conditions or conditions am I currently suffering from?
The conditions you are currently suffering from are you're restrained and you can't breathe. That's it. Basically, you're restrained. It's that you can't move.
So I can attack.
Let's double check it. But yes. Oops, I don't want that.
If restrained is, I couldn't remember if restrained is just movement negated.
I get them mixed up sometimes. I think it is. But yes, your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and you have disadvantage on dex saves. But you can attack. It's just at disadvantage.
Well, I think I will be attacking.
Okay. You can, to be clear, try to fight your way out of this by just making it a strength check to escape.
No, I'm going to attack.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you understood that. Okay, go for it.
13.
13 is going to hit. You're inside of the cube. You're just the sword cuts just by moving it. I got it for 11 piercing damage.
22.
Hits.
10 piercing damage.
Got it.
Bonus action attack. 10 misses.
No, it does not. As you're inside of it, it's just a big cube of jelly. You're
you're automatically chopping away at this thing, yeah.
Minus 11. Got it.
Clarifying that the gelatinous cube is just a big cube of jelly, Rich.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for, to explain the obvious. Crixus, how many feet away from you are they now? And so
I don't know, Rich.
And so you slash you're watching him fighting against the inside of this jelly, Eerie, as the short sword is carving away inside of it.
How far from the entrance to this corridor is Crixus?
He's 10 feet out.
And I'm 20 feet away because I only went 10 feet inside.
Yes.
Eerie also screamed.
Eerie did scream. Now it's aware of everybody what's going on. Eerie, you're gonna go.
Okay. So first thing I would like to do, do I know anything
You gotta roll knowledge arcana.
Well, yeah, I was waiting for Rich to tell me to do that.
You will have to roll knowledge arcana. Yeah, Mike's got you.
You don't have to do that.
Oh.
Is that action though, Rich? Or is that a book? How does that work? Knowledge checks during combat rounds.
It should be an action, but whatever. Again, the fact is either you know or you don't, right? You're looking at this thing. What can you recall about it in the instant? Nothing, Eerie. You don't know. If you've ever read about it, it escapes your mind in the moment, but you're not sure what you know about it.
Awesome.
It's clear your friend is trapped inside.
I like the idea that if she doesn't know what it is, she just and walks away.
Yeah, you can probably breathe.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's like that mucus liquid from the abyss where they have to
Yes, it's exactly what I was thinking, by the way.
This isn't considered a alchemical object, is it?
Unfortunately, it is not.
Yeah.
It is an ooze. So. A large ooze. If only Jake Doyle were here.
Eerie, do you have a fireball?
I'm not gonna throw a fireball.
Blow that thing up.
I would love to, but my friend's inside of it.
Doesn't matter.
I love Dan.
I don't know anything about this, so I don't know.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's surrounded by jelly.
Exactly.
Warm him up.
Stuntmen use fireman's jelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I will do.
Fireman's jelly.
Eerie will cast Shatter.
Shatter.
So she'll take her staff and kind of her metal bands on it. She whacks it against a rock and points it, and it erupts.
Okay. What do I got? A con save?
Yeah.
I'm just double checking my what happens while he's trapped inside of it. Go ahead and roll your damage here, Erie.
Okay, so she's also, because I haven't done this yet. He just makes it. But okay, so it's 3d8.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go into my actual thing and do that because I think I'm sure I have that. Yeah. Oop. Okay. Gonna spend a first level spell slot to add another. Where is it? Add another 2d10.
What? How does that work? Spam that in the chat.
Yeah, that's my alchemical casting.
That's you spend a spell slot, you get 2d10. That's amazing.
That is amazing. So you manipulate the casting of the shatter from the study and the reading that you've done. So go ahead and roll the extra 2d10 you did. And does that damage get halved if the spell can deal damage on more than one turn? It does not. I don't think get halved by anything. So it takes 7 plus another 7 is 14 points of damage. Angus, I need for you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Angus, I'm sorry. I didn't know anything about it. Oh.
Angus, you take 21 points of damage as you hear this explosion pop off. This shatter reverberates back through the thing, and with that, Crixus will allow you to roll initiative if you would like. I don't know if you want to be involved.
Yes, I did roll initiative already.
Oh, good.
I just can't see my character right now.
Because you're not on the sheet. Sorry, what did you roll?
I rolled 16, I believe. It's on the board. 16.
Got it.
Jeez.
Is it just 16? What's your dex?
I only have a +1.
Then you technically go before this stupid guy, believe it or not.
What stupid guy?
The gelatinous cube, which means you may act first this turn.
Cool.
It is. It's a male gelatinous cube. Crixus, you're holding the rope. Ulrich, you hear, you don't hear the first burbling sounds, but you hear Eerie scream. And then a second afterwards, you guys hear this, roiling crack as, this shatter spell goes off. And I think rock falls off the fucking roof, Eerie. Rubble is falling around you. There's, dust kind of coating the gelatinous cube now.
Can I take an action?
You can roll initiative. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
I know you don't have your thing on the sheet yet, but go for it.
All right.
Did I lose my action?
Nope. I'm just trying to clarify what's happening when.
Okay.
So before your turn actually is happening here, just to get Ulrich in the mix. Ulrich with the 23. What do you want to try to do, Ulrich?
I want to yell down to the other dwarves. There's a problem over here.
Okay.
I'm sure they heard the spell too, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, right? They did. Yeah.
And I'm going to leap down off of this pile.
Okay.
And attempt to get to that room.
Okay, so I said that the pile was about 40 feet high. Climbing down it is difficult terrain. Okay. So it's gonna take your whole movement to I guess climbing down could be vaguely easier. You have the rope.
Leap down. Like you said you were gonna do. Leap down. Just roll athletics.
Well, 40 feet's pretty high. Yeah.
Well, it's only you're only halfway across, right? You're 20 feet across it. It's a sloping thing. You can go ahead and make an athletics check to do it at your full movement. Fair enough. So you're able to scrabble down the pile easily, which puts you right at the entrance to the cave. And then you can't quite get in there if you want to use your movement to dash and get into the actual cave to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to bolt right around the corner and run in. I'd like to get to a vantage point where I could see.
Okay.
On the opposite side of the hallway, maybe.
Or
next to a friend.
You have to step into the hallway to peer around the corner to see where Angus is at. But so yeah, you can put yourself right around here, and you can move yourself anywhere in this space to get in, I guess.
I'm not seeing me on the map. Oh, there I am.
Top right.
Right. Okay.
I know it's like awkward. You're at a tricky
is.
spot, right?
Well, I'm trying to evaluate this because it. So is this like the
Like
corridor?
yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm here, and that's the gelatinous cube. So I can see it or not?
You can. Yep.
Okay,
You can
but I
like
have no
see
actions
it.
or anything.
You could see it like coated in dust. Angus trapped. You burn your action to get in here. Now, Crixus, it's your turn. You have your movement and your action. I've put you on the map, but like you have to move a little bit to get kind of where you are, right? Are you muted, Mike?
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay. Bear in mind, I was listening to what you were talking about, John. So I just want to be, because everything has changed dramatically. I just want to just cast a spell and just be able to like move and move me to where I have to be to see what's going on. Is that where I'm supposed to be right there, right now?
I mean, you could see what's going on. Yeah, you're like standing. Let's imagine you're in the spot like to the right of Eerie. You're like standing just behind Eerie, peering over her head, right?
Could I move back? Because
No.
she just got hit by a pseudomod.
Yeah, you can't move back
So I
any
can't
further
walk
and
back.
still see what's happening in here. No.
Wow, this is wonderful. And Holrick is here too now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'm doing is, I'm sorry for dawdling. I'm casting Dragon Maw Bolt, and I'm casting it at a high level spell, Rich.
Okay, excellent.
To let you know, the highest level possible,
Which is third, right?
which is 3rd level.
10.
Yes.
Hits, believe it or not. It is a big cube of jello, as I've pointed out. The dragon maw like appears out of your hand, surging over Eerie's head and blasts into this thing for 14 points of radiant damage.
Oh, God, guys, that's horrible.
That's your action.
Really
you have
sorry.
bonus action.
I heal. I'm sorry. I have to. My character sheet. I close it down. I'm gonna heal. I guess I'll heal myself. Just kidding. I'm gonna heal. What's it called? Angus.
Okay.
Touch him? Did you have to touch him?
Nope. I don't have to touch him at all.
Oh, sweet.
And what I'm going to do is. Damn it. I'm sorry. I was gonna do something else. Another healing word. Oh, I'm actually gonna cast it at a higher level. 3rd level.
3rd level healing word. Here goes 2 3rd level spell slots. Boom, boom. 10 hit points back, Angus. As through like the muffled sound of the jelly in your ears, you hear Crixus like, Angus! Crixus, that's your action.
That's all I could do. Unless if I move out of the cave, I'm completely out of view, correct?
Yeah, you can't see it anymore. Yeah.
All right, I'm sticking.
And Angus, you take 17 points of acid damage.
And he's down.
No.
Angus is down. It is now your turn. I need you to make a death save.
Oh, and it's totally my fault.
Why is it your fault? It's not your fault. It's just
because she just shattered him.
Points of damage to
she shattered him. Death save 9. Angus, you fail a death saving throw.
Too.
If Angus is in here at the start of the gelatinous cube's next turn, he will fail 2 death saving throws and die. Eerie, it's your turn on 8.
Oh my gosh. Do I see like Angus like
I think you see him go limp. I think you see his hand like slip off the sword, his eyes roll back in his head, and he's just like suspended limp inside of the thing where he was fighting a second ago. The war horn like comes loose from his one hand.
I don't Jeez. Can Eerie, I don't know, is it possible to like try and pull him out?
Sure, it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, Eerie's gonna drop her staff, like hoist her sleeves of her sweater up and try and pull Angus out.
Eerie drops her staff. We see it like clatter on the stone in front of her as she just like steps in and plunges headfirst in to grab Angus and pull him out.
I'm super good at this. For sure.
I need you to make a strength saving throw, a strength check rather. No save, just straight up strength check.
Right. It's just straight. That's
Eerie.
so many 8s. I rolled so many 8s.
Eerie, you like plunge your hands and your head in and you're like reaching, grasping at him, and you like get a hold of his hand and pull, but like you can't breathe. You feel like the jelly starting to like surge up into your nose and your ears, acid, your eyes are like, you like have to blink because it's like burning, and you like yank yourself back out, jelly dripping off of your face like that's your action. You can't get him out. Movement bonus action?
No, I don't think I got anything.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
Is that it?
That's it.
Does
Ulrich,
he
you're
have
up on,
magic missile?
Maybe. Ulrich, you're up on 23.
I want to try to pull him out as well. He has to get out of there now.
Make a strength check. Flat strength roll, Ulrich.
As I'm like diving in there, I just like look at Crixus and I'm like, heal him again. And like I go to dive.
Wait, you're diving past me?
Yeah.
Go, Crixus!
Yeah.
Just go back.
That's exactly what you see, Crixus. Yes. Go for it.
It's a dwarven cannonball, everybody.
19. Ulrich like blasts into this jelly in this spot, like right next to Eerie, like grabbing, and you get a hold of his arm and like yank him, grabbing him under the elbow. You like pull him towards you, and you like get your shoulder up under his armpit, and are like leaning back. Like we hear this like this sucking sound as Angus is like yanked out of the jelly. It like slaps back closed, vibrating. You know,
Oh, God.
You've got him out. You've got him out, Ulrich. You like can drop him on the ground behind you.
All right.
What do you want to do with him?
I'm gonna put him on the ground.
Okay, you like.
You know what? I'm gonna drag him out of the room.
Okay, cool.
That's the rest of my movement. I'm gonna drag him out of the room.
Got it. You can only move 15 feet since you're carrying like this dead weight. You can only move like half your move speed, right? It like lashes out at you as you like drag it out of range with him. 14, like you feel the pseudopod crack down on your armored back to no avail. Ulrich, that's your turn. Crixus, you're up on 16.
Jeez Louise, guys. I'm gonna do the same thing I
You
did.
can touch him now.
I'm really focused on this creature. Is he? That's the thing. Well, so essentially, I'm gonna have to. Jeez Louise. I don't have to touch him. So I'm gonna do what I was gonna. I'm gonna do exactly what I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Dragon Ball Bolt at a higher casting again.
17 hits. Using a third level slot again?
Yeah.
Sick. Is that all of them? Did you just blow all your third level slots? That's sick.
Blew my... Attention, everybody. I've just spent all my third level spots.
Yeah, dude, that's exciting. You just did 2 rounds, unloaded 3 third level spell slots. That's a big deal. My poor players in the post-show recaps Discord server who are beholden to the freaking cantrip casting rules, they're jealous. Anyway, that's 16 points of radiant damage, advantage on the next attack roll.
I just, unfortunately, I was going to do one more thing, but I got so excited because I lost all my third level spells.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Wait. Am I logged off? No,
I don't know. You're a zombie.
Oh, no.
Why do I feel like I'm in radio right now? I don't know. But
I don't know.
I do heal as a bonus action. I heal Angus.
Excellent, Angus. You're like eyes open. You're like coughing up some jelly, like jelly in your nostrils. You know, you're like, oh, You're like burned. Your ears are ringing from the shatter. You're like laying on the ground with Ulrich standing over you, looking down like with a worried look. The familiar sensation of Crixus's healing magic flowing through your battered bones. Crixus Copperstone, that was your turn. On 16, the gelatinous cube goes.
I just want to add one little thing, but I just want to go deeper into description and the healing. You'll see these little like fuzzy purple motes around you when you woke up, just for like a heartbeat, and that was like the healing taking effect.
We love fuzzy purple motes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't love gelatinous cubes when it's their turn. This thing lashes out at you, Eerie.
Yeah,
it takes a swing at you. 6. And you like duck down low, like ha 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 ha, as you realize it's like
Yeah.
and it just like surges forward into the space where you're at. Because we love it in golf. It's not a swarm, but it might as well be.
No, don't shut your mouth. Don't mention swarms.
Well, it is not a swarm, but you have been engulfed,
Great.
which means you can actually make a DC 12 saving throw.
Of what?
Dex, sorry.
Jeez Louise.
13.
13. You can choose to be pushed 5 feet back or to the side. Would you like to go back or to the side?
Wherever there's room, I guess. I don't know who's.
There's kind of
Chris
people
is
everywhere. I'm
behind
pushing
me, right?
you to the side. Eerie, you do suffer. Oops, that should be one more. You do suffer 6 points of acid damage as the cube like slams into you, and you like manage to like push yourself around the corner, like wedged into the edge here, where it's now separating you from your boy Crixus. Technically, Ulrich and Angus are outside of the room. I'm just leaving them on the map for clarity. That was the cube's turn. Angus, you're up on 14.
Angus rises to his feet, charges back into the room.
Oh my gosh.
Where's
the
Dives
precious
headfirst back
children?
in.
Bugbear's cracking me up right now.
I know.
Eerie, you got some splaining to do.
You going back
yep.
to your horn? Dives headfirst.
Angus, you easily charge back into the room.
And how far is it from the entrance right now? Well, I guess
Now it's like right there. As you like step into the entrance, it's like right there. Crixus has got his back to the wall. Yes.
Well, shit.
Yes.
I will attack it.
1 second.
Oh no. I think Rich lost his headphones.
You're muted.
Okay, here we go again. My headset has died. We're like live, fully kinetic on stream. You do notice it, Angus.
This is so exciting. This is insane.
Yes.
6
Oh, yeah.
piercing.
20!
Yeah, I'm not. Does 11 hit from
You
the
are not
outside?
flanking. Yes.
Nice. Ooh.
8.
For another 8 with that, Angus, as you like punch the sword into it the first time, you like slash out, like cutting this huge like horizontal section, and then you plunge the sword back in, like whipping it up, and this huge section just sloughs right off of the cube, splashing into the ground, and the rest of it kind of wobbles for a second before it loses its viscosity, and it's just like
Can we rewind and you ask me what does this look like?
yeah, what does it look like?
So with the second strike, Angus traces the letter A in the side of the cube. A la Angus. That's the mark he always leaves on his foes, as we all know
always.
from these past months.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And then it kind of bursts like a balloon.
Ooh.
Yes. And like it just sloughs onto the ground over like the lot of all of you, like your legs, your boots. It's disgusting.
Ew.
but it's destroyed.
Well,
Ulrika, there's your horn. It's over there. Your horn.
Angus picks up the horn, turns to his friends, and cleans it up by blowing very, very powerfully.
Oh. Ew.
And I think it's just like, I think there's that moment of resistance. You're like, just like this huge knot of snot comes like leaping out of the top, and then like.
That was extremely unpleasant.
Angus, I'm so sorry. I had no idea about these creatures. I thought that it would like you were inside of it, so you were safe if I hit it with something. I'm so sorry.
Logical.
Hey, I rolled a natural one. Decision,
No.
you know.
It's
all good. I've heard about these things. I never thought I'd face one from the inside, but yeah, you know, it reminds me of Ma's Jello mold. You know, we used to bring these to the county fair, and pretty.
The Erkengard County Fair.
Well, you know, we had those potlucks back in Erkengard, and
Peach
this reminds
size
me a lot of
blackberry
Oh,
jello.
that's awesome.
This reminds me a lot of analysis. Yeah, the Jello mold that he would always bring to those potluck dinners, don't you know?
I miss those potluck dinners.
Happy you're not dead.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That was close.
That was a team effort. Thank you all. And well, a team effort in many different ways. And he looks at Erie.
There was with the collapsing of this jello.
Yeah, did I notice anything in it?
Floating inside of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, get that magic wand out of my face. I'm trying to attack the
magic item out of
You did, actually. You noticed a few, like, items as you were in the midst of it. Coins, metal, and blades, jewelry, all of which clattered to the floor as it was destroyed and has now, like, spread out into the various, like, nooks and crannies of the floor here.
Well, he earned that. He can have it. I'm going to search the rest of the room.
I was just trying to make sure that there was no foes coming down this passage. I wouldn't say I earned it. I kind of wandered right into that sucker. Didn't see him there.
Well, somebody.
When you say this room, Ulrich, what do you mean? You're coming into the hallway? You're going to explore in here? Okay. Erie, what are you doing?
I think Erie would just stay with Angus. Like if he's going to try, if we're going to try and gather up these things.
Yep. Crixus, how about you?
That's how you cast that.
Holy crap. You never see that.
If you're going to search the room, I'll help Ulrich out.
I'm just walking around at this point to make sure there isn't anything else in here.
Well, searching the room, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yep. So what are you doing, Crixus? Hold on a second, Ulrich. You're getting like really far. Too many things are happening at once. What are you doing, Crixus?
I guess I'm just looking around the room. Personally, is there anything else of interest in this room besides objects?
Okay, move yourself to where you're looking around. Like, there's all the stuff that fell out of the jelly.
Be careful.
Are you searching the stuff that fell out of the jelly, or are you searching the room?
I'll search the stuff in the jelly. Why not?
Okay. So a lot of you are like looking around
Angus, not so much.
at all this. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Angus, not
Angus
so much.
only
there.
because he's healing himself. I think he now has more hit points than Erie.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has a spare healing word, but Erie's at half.
Angus will cast. Crixus, you didn't get hurt, did you?
Nope. I did not. As I'm like examining like the jelly and going, wow, did this hurt? Did this jelly hurt?
Yeah, kind of stung.
Like actually, I'm like I seem to be somewhat like I don't like if you touch it, I would assume like you. Well, for me, I'm like not really bothered by the jelly itself.
12 hit points, Erie.
Thank you.
Nice. So as Angus casts
Did
cure
Lothar go
spells
with
over
the
the pair of
dwarves?
you. No, Lothar was just hanging back a little bit, and
Thanks, Lothar.
You haven't noticed me the whole time?
Angus remembers how much Lothar helped during this whole situation.
Ooh. Angus will remember this.
I think that as Angus and Eerie, as Angus like heals up himself and Eerie, Ulrich, you're like striding forward a little bit, and you see the passage leads down. It's bending around everywhere. Crixus, you're like picking through the jelly, like, oh, this is not affecting me that dramatically, and you're seeing all this shiny stuff. There's all these shinies, Crixus. You find first of all, coins like scattered all across the floor, and as you pick one up, you realize it's a piece of platinum, and it's like square cut with like this like dwarven mark on it. There's 35 like pieces in total that you start like reaching around, snatching up out of like the viscous jelly, as it were. You find a ring. It appears to be forged of this silvery metal, and it has this big, fat, blue sapphire set right in it. There is also a medallion which appears to be like square cut. Whatever cord it was on is long since gone, but it also is like dwarven in make, very clearly like dwarven in the way that it's shaped.
But it's a medallion.
You said it was a ring before? This like a sap. Okay.
Yep. A silver ring with a big fat sapphire set in it, a square cut dwarven medallion, and what was the last thing here? Hold on, bear with me 1 second.
A chainmail, suit of chainmail, perhaps, or a cloak of elven kind.
Yeah, a dwarven cloak of elven kind. That's what we're looking for.
With cloak of elven
A
kind.
dwarf cloak.
Everything else. Was
Okay, and the very last thing is...
The last thing is drum roll, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got a ring, the medallion, and a brooch.
A brooch.
Right.
With dwarven face on it.
It is actually. It's a dwarven helmet is what it's shaped like. It's like a dwarven helmet.
I scored two stars for tonight. Two prediction.
You scored 2 stars. And I think it's at this point, as Crixus, you're picking this stuff out. Angus and Eerie, you're able to like easily kind of get healed up in those few seconds as that's happening. And I think that it's at this point that Lothar like steps into the cave, and he's like,
he really is here. Wow.
Yeah, and I think he's like, there's something out there.
What do you mean?
I put it on the ring.
Oh. Gee.
I put on the medallion too.
Crixus, let
You put on the
Crixus,
medallion
let
and
me-
the ring
Crixus,
and the
let me
brooch.
Identify those.
It's too late.
God
He's put them
damn
all
it.
on. He suddenly turns
Yeah.
into a dwarven woman. And you're like, what? I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just
You
kidding.
can't tell the difference between a man and a
Crixus
woman
does
anyway.
want to know if he can eat it. Crixus, you've like gathered up these items, and Lothar comes in like, there's something out there. It's coming.
What?
And I think it's moments after that you hear a yell from like the chamber as Beaudry Ironstave is like, there's something crawling in on the walls. Look out.
Dude, no.
Ended with that.
We shouldn't have made all that noise with the hammers and the irons. That's our mistake. Sorry.
That's 3 times.
That's our mistake. It seems like you're actually suffering for it, so we really apologize.
My bad.
Sorry.
So you hear Beaudry yelling, though, like, there's something crawling down the walls. Coming for our cave.
You must have had one of the bad kinds of fungus. The walls are moving.
What do you guys do
Yes,
in this incident?
Wait, I want to
did,
confirm it.
Poetry ate the brown acid.
Where is
Poetry
it? Where
ate the
is it?
brown.
Poetry. Is
I
it
haven't actually.
Cross?
How big is this cave? How like?
It's like about 10, 15 feet wide. The walls like slope up, but the ceiling itself is about 20 feet up
Okay.
above you.
Oh, never mind.
Lothar scrambles back
Yeah,
into the room.
solid
a little
plan.
bit.
Yeah, we just. I guess. God.
Angus will step away from the doorway.
Yep.
Okay.
Eerie, get behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think it's at this point as do you fall back, Erie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she stands
Yeah.
more like to the side of him, you know.
Well, you put yourself where you feel that you should be. I don't want to take
Fair enough,
responsibility
fair
for that. And I think that you hear Beaudry just like, it's coming in now. Keep your eyes out in your exit shot, boy. And it's at this point that you see like crawling down around the entrance to
Wait,
this
if everybody's
thing.
backed up to the like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
Angus,
back.
get your butt back here.
Holbrook said
Yeah.
for everyone to be behind his back, right?
What the hell is that?
You see like crawling in along the
Oh,
ceiling.
this guy's a good guy.
What looks like
Don't-
this like
don't have a tough time, by the
rotten,
way.
dead humanoid that has like these huge kind of bone spurs just sharpened into blades where it should have appendages. And I think as it clings to the ceiling, its legs and its one arm like plunge straight into the rock. Its head just turns looking down at you upside down, these black sunken eyes. And its smile looks like a frown because it hangs from the ceiling upside down. And I think that's where we leave our adventures for tonight.
That's very exciting.
Rick says it wants its brooch back.
No, no. I hate it.
Now it's a Balrog.
I'd so
of
love to
Morgoth,
kill this
says
thing.
Dad. It's not quite a Balrog of Morgoth, but they only just got down here, you know. So whatever. Anyway,
I want to
guys,
kill this thing. I gotta wait a week to kill this thing.
You're gonna have to wait a week to kill this thing. I think my headphones are not cooperating, but I have a terrible migraine headache, and I'm sorry. I've been powering through all night. Otherwise, I would hang out for another 40. But I hope that was fun,
that was
guys.
good.
We'll get the band back together. You have left the Tomb of Gurahl Khan. You're in the caves beneath it, plumbing your way through the Drakencaern Mountains. Your dwarves are not quite right there anymore, though they're not gone yet. Lothar's with you. He was just forgotten for one combat. Jeez. You're only as good as your last longbow shot.
25 seconds he was
I
actually.
didn't give the halfling my arrows to not shoot at the gelatinous cube.
Hey, that's a really valid point. That almost killed you, Kurt. And given your affection for gelatinous cubes, I think you appreciated that.
I
So
think
that
we
was
should
cool.
be happy that Lothar is actually with us. He made the decision. He could have left, right?
True. Yeah. Kurt, do you not love gelatinous cubes? Did I misinterpret that?
I've only encountered one gelatinous cube previously, and I think it was like a third level of a different campaign.
Well, we'll remember this one for a minute.
There's always room for gelatinous.
Anyway, indeed there is Brenemus Lothar, didn't we all? That was episode 19 of the Titans Heirs. The name of the adventure may have to change before I publish it, as Kurt has discovered that DM Dave is publishing the Titans.
They're not
Heirs,
plural,
so fuck my
singular.
life.
Titans
Wait, what'd you say?
It's singular, not plural. It's Titans Air.
Oh, then I'm good. Anyway, you guys, this was really fun tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. Are we all locked and loaded for next Monday? Can I ask you guys now live on stream? Are we all
Yeah.
here?
You can ask me now on stream, but that doesn't mean my job won't interfere.
Goddamn jobs.
Yeah, they're
I
stupid.
need to find a way to pay you to do this full time.
Hey, August
anyway.
9th, I will be on
That's-
vacation.
Okay, we'll write
All
that
right.
down. somebody in the stream remind me to write that down. Just so you
I'll
guys
remember.
all know. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for hanging out all night. Feel free to throw me those Amazon Prime subs for anybody who's wandering in, finding this after the fact or hanging out. That's how you support what we're doing here. And I can't quite pay these beautiful people yet, but maybe someday I can. So
Awesome.
to that end, I hope that you guys all had fun tonight. Does anybody have anything cool they want to promote? Mike, you're saying something.
That was an
What'd you say?
amazing encounter with a cube.
Yeah, that was.
Absolutely amazing.
It's been a while.
Classic yet unique, because I've played D&D forever, and I thought it was classic in so many ways, classically, as a perfect classic, as well as also somewhat unique and stuff like that experience. So I really thoroughly enjoyed it and stuff like that. It was really
Okay,
wow.
cool. I'm glad you thought that was fun. I knew that the gelatinous cube would be fun down here, and part of me was oh, should I move it to the stairs so Crixus just gets stuck in it alone? And then it was no, because what if he dies alone in the dark, and he's the only one who could bring himself back? That's horrible. That would be a horrible formulaic decision for me as a dungeon master. So yeah, we abandoned that course of action pretty quickly and just kept it where it was supposed to be. But nonetheless, does anybody have anything else that they want to hype up or promote? You guys are all pretty simple. Taylor, what are you doing this week? Where can people find you?
Late Thursday, I'll post on Twitter. Wednesday, but late Thursday, I'll be back finally with Dragon Age. Regardless of how my finger is, I don't care anymore. I need to play again. I'll be back Thursday with Dragon Age Episode 4. Twitch.tv/Rania422 and Rania422 on Twitter as well.
Give her a follow, give her a watch. Keep your eye out. Dragon Age. It's going to be cool. Mike, John, you guys have anything you want to hype up or promote or note or talk about?
Nope. Simple enough.
Nope. Kurt, anything out there?
No, I just got a bunch of books from Amazon that I don't know when I'm going to get to them, because the book I'm reading now is just such slow reading. Good, but slow.
What's the book?
It's a long story.
Okay, never mind.
That's not
Mike, what were you going to say? I felt like I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I don't have anything interesting to say, other than I'm waiting for the She-Hulk.
Okay. I'm sure it was really interesting, but I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm going to go. I'm sitting here holding this wire in my headset. I got to abandon ship. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you all for hanging out. Go follow Taylor. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern with Dragonfly, episode 10 maybe. And on Friday, go check out my friends and Kurt's friends and all of our friends over at Sabotage the DM, 2 p.m. Eastern. You guys, I will be playing a 16th level Battlemaster Fighter, Diviner, Wizard, Githyanki, where I will go to town and fight an astral dreadnought.
That's going to be so rad.
What day is this?
What? Friday.
I might have to try to pull that in at work.
It'll be hyped up on my Twitch. It'll be on my Facebook. I'll promote it. But Friday, I believe it's 2 p.m. Eastern. Might be 1 p.m. Eastern. I might be mixing that up. But we're going to have a big-time knockdown, throwdown, baller fight. You know what's fucking hilarious? 3 of the 4 of us are wizards. The 4th one's a sorceress. It's an astral dreadnought. Go read the stat block. We're so fucked. Anyway, I'll see you guys then. Tomorrow night, Dragonfly, 8 p.m. Come hang out. Thank you. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.